Welcome to the Fire Rescue Wellness Podcast Spotlight, where we revisit take-home messages and shine a light on previous FRW podcasts in 10 minutes or less. I'm Lex, AZ's right and left-hand woman, and I churn out these mini episodes for her. Let's go.
I don't think that there's anything I could say that will change people's minds or make them more ready. And that kind of circles back to what you had asked about changing the world. That's why I think the value of just showing up and leading from the front, leading by example, right? I think that if you want somebody to do something, the best thing you can do is do it yourself. It's not try to convince them or try to teach them all the benefits. Yeah, that's cool to have those resources there, but the most inspiring thing that you're going to do is do it yourself and show people life on the other side of that and show people the outcome of doing that thing. And I do believe that the most, when it comes to online business, right, there's always this kind of aspirational quality that helps out. And I think in general, aspirational qualities, like it makes us like want to do stuff. We're like, oh, I aspire to be like that. And I think the most aspirational quality is happiness. So you showing up, AZ, and pursuing your happiness and doing all these things outside of the traditional model is so beneficial. And it gives people just insight into, like, hey, this is what life on the other side looks like. And when you folks listening to this are ready to change and you're like, I can't be like this anymore, cool, you've got resources. So that's what I would say. There's no convincing there or anything like that. The mindset shift starts when you are ready for it to change.
I recently gave a talk about habits and about wellness throughout your career. And I actually, with full credit to the maestro, put a slide in there about diversifying your joy portfolio. Yeah, and so
it's big.
Can you talk to the listeners? I want to hear it from your mouth. What does diversifying your joy portfolio actually mean?
For sure. So this is actually a quote that I got from a former client, Holly. I am blanking on Holly's last name right now.
Sorry,
probably
Holly.
Won't come back to me because I'm old. But it is from a client, from Holly. And to me, what that means is giving ourselves reserves and not putting all of our eggs, the proverbial eggs, in one basket. Because we know we're going to need there will be times when it will be helpful to pull from other areas. And if we only have one thing in our life that brings us joy, the same way if we're investing in the stock market, if you only have one stock that you've invested in, that could be problematic. Because if that doesn't do so well, suddenly we're like, you see Rupert's tail.
I totally see Rupert's tail.
Just on the desk. Rupert, I'm trying to educate the people. So we know if you put all your eggs in one basket, you got one stock. If that stock is not doing well, then suddenly it is the end and you are just depressed. You're not in a good way. Whereas if you have other things and you're like, you know what, this isn't going so well, because that's life, right? Life is ups and downs. That's normal. So if we have diversified and we have multiple things that bring us joy, and I will add on to that, multiple things that bring us a sense of worth and self-worth. That's kind of where I'm getting at with, like, you know, diversifying your joy portfolio. It's also diversifying your self-worth portfolio. When we have times where this thing isn't going so well, cool, we can go draw from this other thing. And it doesn't have to be like massive things. So like, I'll give examples from like my own personal life. One is the weather. That is a big thing that brings me joy. I moved to California because I am grossly affected by the weather. I don't do well in the cold. Cold is a choice. I choose no. I don't want it.
Winter is a choice. Shanté says no.
A choice. I don't want that. It's terrible. So I'm here. I got palm trees that can really help me out. But what happens if it rains? What happens if it's a gray day? You know, that does happen every now and again. All right, cool. Guess what else I have? I have a home gym that I built out during COVID, and I can go down there and I get a lot of value out of all self-worth, a lot of joy out of being in that gym. What if I don't feel like going down there because, like, it's also kind of cold in there? I can get a haircut. Something as simple as that really brings me a lot of joy and just can totally switch my mood. I also have clients that I love working with. I have social media that I can hop on and, you know, get that connection from. So I have all these different things that I can draw from so that if this thing isn't going so well, cool. then I can go and borrow that joy, that happiness, that validation, that self-worth from something else.